Hi, cuties. I'm Lanikia, and you're watching What Happened on the Soaps. This is Days of Our Lives edition. Today is Monday, July the 11th, 2022. All right, let's just jump right into it, y'all. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 to 10, y'all know how we do. 8. No, 7.5. It was really a 7. 7. All right, let's go. So we see, they have, you know what? I do appreciate General Hospital Days of Our Lives because they played their actors out. Like, oh my gosh, but they move around so much. So if I forget anyone, charge that to my head and not my heart. Roman and Eric are getting ready for Sammy's wedding. They say, "Oh, you sharp, you sharp." I said, "Y'all still dressed for the funeral, calling each other sharp." And then they said, "No, girl, this is Sammy's wedding day." I said, "Oh, okay." So Roman says, "Well, what happened when you went over there to talk to Nicole?" And he said, "Oh, well, what ended up happening was Nicole had already got married." So it was like, I couldn't tell her something either. And Roman was like, "So you're not going to tell her anything because she is, the woman that you love." And Eric said, "Listen, I might not be a priest anymore, but I believe in marriage. And I'm not gonna be a home wrecker for anybody. Like, I'm not gonna wreck their home or have Nicole feeling some type of way, or anything about how by letting her know how he feels about her. And I appreciate that about Eric. So I'm not gonna hold you on that. And that is what it is. So then we see, gosh, it was so many moving pieces. So then we see that, speaking of Roman, Kate is talking to Chad, and she's Chad is in the park. See, I thought it was the same day because I was like, isn't Chad still dressed for the funeral? But Chad is in the park, and he said, and Kate hears him talking. He said he's just talking out loud to Abigail. He does that a lot now. And she says, "Chad, nobody's expecting you to be okay." And so then we see that he said he had a hard day. And so Jennifer and Jack took the kids to swim and everything because he said Charlotte scraped her knee and she was like, "Kiss it, daddy, like mommy did. Mommy used to." And he broke down, and she gave him a kiss on the nose and was like, "All better," and everything. So it was just a sad moment, but and, so anyways, Kate tells him, because he sees something's bothering her, and he was like, "What's up?" And she tells him about Sammy and Lucas getting married. And he says, "You all right with that, or you going to stop the wedding?" She said, "Listen, I am done meddling in my children's life. It is what it is at this point." She was like, if Lucas wants Sammy, he wants to marry her, let him. And she said, so they keep talking, and he said, "Well, what else is it?" She said, "I feel guilty." She said, "Because I didn't tell Roman that my son kidnapped his daughter." So that is a guilt that's weighing on her because she loves Roman and everything. And he says, "Are you going to tell him?" And she said, "No, I'm just going to learn to live with it." And she said Lucas was just so upset. She's worried about Lucas because he was just so upset, about Abigail. And then she brings up the fact that she had told Lucas about Abigail's, knowing that Chad had told her about him kidnapping, that Lucas had kidnapped Sammy. And Chad said, "Wait a minute now, I thought you said that you didn't tell Lucas this." And she said, "I slipped up." But she tells Chad, "No, no, but it doesn't matter because we know it wasn't um Lucas who killed Abigail. We know it was Clyde Weston." But she does say, "I don't see why Clyde would want to kill Abigail." And so he tells her about EJ and how he had shot EJ and he had threatened them, and EJ didn't tell anyone that he had threatened his family because EJ just wanted to handle it on himself. And she just says, she says, "Well, maybe," but she still don't see it. It's because there's nothing to be seen. But anyway, so when she gets done talking to Chad, he's okay because they believe that Clyde Weston is the one who killed Abigail because he had the jewelry and everything. And so he's like, okay. And so then we see that, staying along this storyline, we see that Will goes in on Lucas, and he sees the gash in Lucas' hand, and he tells him, "Why is your hand cut?" And Lucas tries to play it off and say, oh, it was this, it was that. And he said, no, Dad, why is your hand cut? It's not that deep. It's not that big of a gash or a band-aid. He was like, Dad, why is your hand cut? And he finally tells him he fell off the wagon or whatever. And so Will is like, have you told Mom? Like, have you told anyone? And he's like, no. And he's like, I feel like you should tell Mom this. And Allie is just like, tell Mom what? Because Allie has come in. And so Will makes an excuse to leave or whatever. And so that leaves Allie and Lucas to talk, and she's happy that they're together and everything. And they make an excuse about reading the vows, how the mom can't wait to hear the vows or whatever. And so Allie and Lucas talk once Will leaves, and she's happy that they're get together. She's been hoping that they would get back together since she was a young child. I'm not gonna hold you long on that. That's all I remember. So then we see that Will sees Chad, still sitting on the bench in the park or whatever, and he tells Chad, how are you? Well, he knows Chad's not well, but Chad can see something is bothering Will. So he says, what's going on? And he says, no, I'm not gonna stress you with my problems. Like, it doesn't even matter. You got enough stuff going on. And Will was like, Chad was like, Will, you and Sonny have always been there for me. Tell me what's going on. I want to know. So he said, it's my dad. And Chad is like, what about your dad? And he said, he fell off the wagon. So now Chad is really perked up. Now he said, well, he blacked out. He doesn't remember anything. He said, well, when did this happen? I said, oh God. Oh my goodness. So that's it with that part, guys. So then earlier we see that Allie had been with Nicole. So when Allie was with Nicole, she was just telling Nicole about her being married, Chanel haven't decided who she wants to be with yet or anything, and she was telling her about Sammy and Lucas getting married, and Nicole was like, child. And Allie said, don't say anything. And she said, that's your mama, and I can't say anything. I'm not gonna say anything bad, or I'm sorry for making any little comment. And she said, it's okay, because I'll be telling my mom not to talk about you either. But Nicole is just like, I care for Lucas, and I don't know if this is right for him. And Allie said, no, this time I think it's going to work out. And Nicole is just like, we're going to see. And she said, but I feel like Sammy is really running away from her love for EJ by throwing herself at Lucas. And Allie said, like you did marrying Rafe so you could run away from Uncle Eric. And Nicole said, excuse me? And she said, I don't know, you could tell me I'm out of line, I shouldn't. And she said, no, it's okay. But at the end of the day, that's exactly what Nicole did. So then Allie has to leave because, she went over to daddy's. So when Allie leaves, Nicole is there, and, she's carrying some old things and everything because, she had gave Allie her old apartment. So she's carrying all her old stuff, and Eric, for some reason, is running through. The wedding, I guess they're getting ready for the wedding or whatever, but he might be late. He's running through, and he knocks over Nicole, and he sees a picture of Holly, and, and he's, and they start talking, and they still have a good memory and stuff. And Nicole is like, hey, when Rafe and I came back from being married, you said you wanted to tell me something. Now, at this point, Lucas is coming up, right? So when Lucas comes up, Eric was like, it was nothing. I was just going to ask you, could I talk, could I have some time with Holly? And she was like, of course, and all this and that. And so she was like, yeah, of course, you could always see Holly and whatever. And so EJ, did I say Lucas? EJ comes up with when Nicole and Eric are talking. And so that's why Eric just goes ahead and is like, I was just trying to see Holly. I wasn't trying to do anything. And Nicole was like, okay, all right, cool. You can take her to the zoo sometime, because he asked to take her to the zoo. And so EJ was like, y'all still got that chemistry and all that, even though you married to Brave. And she was like, leave me alone, EJ, because she tells him, so what is going on with you and Belle? And he didn't say nothing. She said, oh, you did it. You managed to sleep with Belle. And then there goes Sammy coming up. Now, Sammy had been getting ready earlier. She had been at Marlena's house, and she had been getting ready for her wedding, because it's her wedding day. And I forgot how much a brat Sammy was. So she started talking today, and I was like, ew. So Sammy was just talking about Belle. I don't understand why Belle can't be here. And Marlena was like, Belle went through a lot last night, Sammy. And she said, and then John is going to be here. And Marlene said, John has been planning this trip to go see Paul for months. Because y'all know Beyond Salem is on. Listen, I tried to watch that first episode. But anyways, so Sammy is just like, oh, okay. Marlena had to bring Sammy back. It ain't always about you. And so she tells Sammy, I feel like you marrying Lucas just to run away from your feelings for EJ. And she was like, because Marlena was like, EJ said he didn't kidnap you, girl. And Marlena, I'm like, Marlena, do you like EJ with Sammy or something? Because the way she was talking. But anyway, so then we see that Marlena and Sammy just keep on talking, and Sammy says, I just need you to be happy for me. Lucas makes me happy, and just support them. Marlena's like, all right. So then Johnny comes over because Johnny had been with EJ earlier, and he had told EJ about Sammy getting married today. And EJ said he didn't care. He just wished she didn't marry Lucas. Do he care or not? I don't know. But he wished she wouldn't marry Lucas because he says Lucas is the one who kidnapped her. And Johnny said, you can't prove that, Dad. And he was like, but I'm telling you that's the one who did it or whatever. And I'm not going to hold you long. That was pretty much it with them. And so then we see Johnny tells Sammy that he told his dad because he didn't know. And she was like, what? Because he said his dad was upset or whatever. She said, oh, so you saying he was jealous? And he said, no, I didn't say that. He just wished you weren't marrying Lucas. And she was like, your dad and I need to move on with our lives. We're better apart in everything. And it was like, okay. So that's it with them because, Sammy walked up on EJ and Nicole while they was talking about Belle. But I don't think Sammy heard them talk about, him sleeping with Belle. I don't think she heard that part of it. Um, all right, guys, that was all the days of our lives. I was just reading over my notes to make sure I got it all. And yeah, that was all the days of our lives. I guess we're gonna see because I think Chad gonna figure this out that Lucas was that Lucas is feeling guilty. Now we all know Lucas did not kill Abigail. Now he got that cut some kind of way. I'm ready for them to piece this all together for us, like move a little faster, piecing it together. But I'm entertained so far. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you tomorrow for another edition of Days of Our Lives. What happened on the soaps, Days of Our Lives. Bye.